Right, YouTubers, I just thought I'd camp out tonight on a long time favourite of mine, going back to when I was a child, and that's Moel Famau, which is the largest of the hills in the Clwydian range in North East Wales. This area here, I'll just sort of pan round. I used to come camping here as a teenager, and at the top of the hill there, I'll just zoom in on that scree. There's a stream there that bubbles out of the rocks, like a little spring, picks up speed, and you can probably hear the water next to me. It's quite a substantial stream here. Lovely clean pure water, perfectly drinkable. Even today, I was camping here 35-40 years ago, and it's always been a favourite place of mine. Times have changed. In the old days you could pitch a tent here and leave all your gear, and you'd be lucky if you saw a farmer all week. These days all this area is a council run country park, and I have to say it's not been for the better. When I camped here as a teenager, the dawn chorus was red grouse with a really haunting call. If you haven't heard it before, it sounds quite spooky. The sheep are obviously always here. There's summer grazing, but this extensive bracken, it was never like this before, and over the years it's got worse and worse. These trees here, mountain ash there and a hawthorn here, the ground's very poor, and these trees were growing here when I used to come here. They haven't grown that much in 30 years. The terrain here is actually seems to have got quite a bit more boggy around the edges of the stream. I'll just go down here, and this is my water supply tonight. I just came down here a few minutes ago and broke some of these bracken stems down. Lovely clear water. Plenty of animal life in it. There's just some small snails and caddisfly larvae. It's perfectly drinkable as it is, but I will be boiling it before using it. I'll be drinking lots of tea tonight. Beyond those trees there, zoom in there, it's the nearest habitation. Beyond it is the Vale of Clwyd, and just to the left out of view here is the town of Rhythm. If I just zoom in there in the distance, hope you can see it. They're the more mountainous terrain, the mountains beyond the Conwy Valley there, going over towards Snowdonia. And if I just move around a little bit and zoom in, I think it's possible. The atmospherics aren't that good, but I can just about make out the tops of mountains there towards Campfire, the Moel Famau area. That's also one of my favourite mountains in the Snowdonia range. This green, short green grass here is improved grassland, a bit more up there. But this hill here is actually an Iron Age hill fort, Moel Famau. And I do remember this when even this bracken here was gone and it was just green grass. On the top of the hill over there, zoom in again, is the Jubilee Tower. It's out of sight. It's a tower that was built to celebrate a coronation or some sort of anniversary of one of the past kings. I can't quite remember which one it was, but it's on the top of the hill there, very popular. And although there were footpaths down the valley and along here, down there, they never used to be waymarked. but these days the local Denbighshire County Council has got posts up here and there with way markers on them identifying the footpath. I'm going to camp here tonight, and this is my spot with my shadow in it. A rucksack there, a few bits and pieces. It's a good few feet from the stream. It's been very hot today, last few days. Searing blue sky at the moment. Very rare in Britain, that. This slope here, this slope is ever so gentle, just enough to take any cold air down away from the tent, not enough to slide across the floor of the tent once I'm inside. And I have to clear away a bit of this bracken, nice and dry underfoot. And also some of this bracken is like 5 feet high places. It will actually disguise the tent, although I do have a tarp, and I'll be putting that over the tent anyway to give it a bit of extra camouflage. But later on I'll be having a fry up on an open fire, and I do have my gas stove as a backup, but I'm going to go for an open fire tonight, and also a nice fry up for breakfast before I set off back home tomorrow. Yeah, as I mentioned a bit earlier, this is now a sort of country park administered by the local council, and that's not being good for the place really. As I say, the old place is overrun with bracken now. I can't really see how that is a conservation measure. There's been a massive increase in bracken in Britain, and there's a direct correlation between that and the decrease in cattle. The higher ground like this, cattle of course, heavy animals, and cattle that grazed on here in 2 or 3 years, this bracken would be gone, just crushed into oblivion. Sheep don't have that sort of weight behind them, and always retreat in the face of the bracken. But this used to be a brilliant place for red grouse. I used to stalk them as a teenager, sneaking up them with binoculars, get quite close. As I say, they have a very unusual call early in the morning, and it sounds quite spooky if you haven't heard it. If I'm really lucky, I might get the chance to record one calling in the morning, but in the time since I was a teenager coming here, and the council have had their hands on this place, they've destroyed most of the habitat. The red grouse numbers have plummeted, and also another favourite upland bird of mine, the ringoozle. It's a sort of mountain blackbird. It just looks like an ordinary blackbird. Same family, thrush family. Has a white crescent on its breast, and that used to breed up here. But again, over the years the numbers of ringoozles seem to have plummeted, and it's all down to the management, I believe, of the local council countryside service. The cuckoos used to come here. It's a bit late for calling now, but at the end of June, third week in June, but I still hear one of those, but even those sorts of seems to have dwindled. Up to now I see a few linnets, meadow pipits, skylark, which is good, and a couple of goldfinches. That's about it up to now. Just finished setting up the tent. Took about 10 minutes to get it unpacked, flatten out the area, put it up, and put my tarp over it. As you can see, it's right in the middle of this bracken field. There is a footpath about 50 yards that way. Most unlikely anyone's going to use it this time of the evening now, but you never know. But anyone walking up that path, they're most unlikely to spot this. Let's go a bit closer. simple tarp, tent underneath, camo jacket there, and there's the track down to the stream to get it in perspective. Just walking this back a little bit here. There's a stream there. Can't beat mountain water. And there you go. Zoom in there. Very pleased with that. That's home for tonight. I shall get the kettle on in a minute, have a brew. Nice mug of tea. And then I'll scout down for some firewood. For a small fire, just enough to fry some sausage and eggs. That'll be tea tonight. Well, the bloody midges are starting to come out now. We got this fire going. Some of the smoke might deter them a little bit. I've moved the fire a few yards away from the tent. There's no wind, so any smoke from this is going to go straight up into the air. But basically there I've just got some rocks out the stream. That little grill which I acquired, it's an excellent piece of kit. It doesn't actually weigh that much, and each time I use it, just clean it up with a bit of a wire brush best I can. But a nice small fire underneath that, and we'll be away. What we're going to do now is go and get some wood. This is my little setup for the night. I've just rearranged the stones. I'm going to have a small fire, just enough to fry myself a couple of eggs and sausages, and it shouldn't be too smoky. And any smoke that does come off it will be quite helpful at the moment, because the place is overrun with midges, and they've been feeding well on me so far. But the area I've chosen there is actually damp ground, so very little likelihood of a fire taking off. And I have a container of water ready just in case, but I'm not anticipating any problems. And I think I'll get going. So I've gathered a few bits and pieces of fuel to get this fire going. It might not look much around here, but I've got quite a choice. And also I brought a couple of bits from home. This here is candle wax, simply dripped into cotton balls. It goes very well, and I'll be trying that out a bit later. Also, this, in survival books and such like, it tells you, you know, if you need to make a fire and you're short on dry fuel, get the fluff out your pockets. Well, this is exactly the same thing, but I actually got this from a laundrette. I happened to be there when they opened the base of the dryers, and the inside of the base of the dryer caked in this stuff, and it does like to go as soon as you put a light to it. So anyone handy to a laundrette, if you go in and ask them, they'll give you sheets of the stuff. I've just had a scout round for burning materials. Obviously there's a lot of bracken around here, and there's this dry stuff on the surface in a lot of places. Last year's growth. Got a few bracken stems there. Also that one there's a thistle, and you can see the the spines there. Think about bracken as well. If you're handling bracken, old bracken, is to pick it up carefully. It's very much like wood, it splinters very easily, and sharp bits like to find their way into your skin. So that's that. Found an old fence post lying on the ground. It would have been made of pine. It's definitely pine, or one of the softwoods. That's probably, I don't know, 15 years old, but should burn well. A few pieces of hawthorn. It was dead under a hawthorn tree over there. They should go okay. Again, more hawthorn twigs, smaller size, and bits of that fence post. And to be really adventurous, dried sheep poo. People underestimate animal dung. Still a bit damp inside in places, but there's enough dry stuff there to burn. It does tend to smoke a bit, but a bit of research I did a few years ago, and I was informed by a company that tests multi-fuel stoves for their energy efficiency with various fuels, that at any one time, any one day in the world, at least 100 million people cook the food on fires fueled with animal dung, mostly cattle, but the stuff dries, elephant dung, anything like that. It throws out a lot of smoke, but also throws a lot of heat. So that'll be going on the fire in a bit. That wax soaked cotton ball, light straight away. The wax acts like a candle, the cotton wool like a wick. And that's as simple as that. Transport this to the fire. Fire's on its way now. Nice bit of heat starting to build up. Got a nice hot centre to that. Got the sausages on the go now. Frying up nicely. When I do a fry up, I always bring lard. One, I like lard, and two, it's hard, it sets. So even when I've finished cooking and I'm on my way home, I can just wrap that up in a plastic bag. It's cooled down, it's set, and I can deal with it at home. No messing about trying to clean it in the field, so to speak. Well, sausage are nearly done. We'll have them out. I've laid out a little bed of bracken fronds there. I'll put the sausage on that to drain, and I have my bath ready for my couple of eggs. They'll go on there nice. My 4 sausages laid out on a bed of bracken fronds. Keeps them off the floor, keeps them clean. Very similar to some things you see in survival books about wrapping meat in banana leaves in tropical places, that sort of stuff. Exactly the same. And that's draining off nicely. Couple of eggs on the go. Sausage and egg, can't beat it. And same again for breakfast. Oh, nice bit of sausage. Cooked right through to perfection. This is the life. And egg bap. Love it. Can't beat food cooked on an open fire. Just cannot beat it. I don't quite know what it is, but a campfire always brings a sort of comfort. I think it probably goes back to man's earliest beginnings when he discovered fire. It brought him heat and a degree of security. And at dusk like this, it's you can't be just staring into the fire, just watching the flames, idling the time away. Just a little view across the Vale of Clwyd, Dyffryn Clwyd. In that shot, I don't know whether it'll pick it up on the film, but there's house lights and odd street lights, odd car headlights appearing scattered across the hills there. In that V shape of this valley that I'm in now, the town of Rhythm is to the left, out of sight, and the town of Denby is out of sight to the right. In that pile of trees there, there's some lights just along the top of the line of trees. That's a little place called Rhyl, roughly halfway between Rhythm and Denby. Time for a little celebration now. American root beer. I kept this back for a few days. A mate of mine, Phil, I'm going to credit in this little clip, just got back from America, and I asked him to bring me some root beer, and he brought me a nice little bottle, and I'm going to toast his good health and my camping out adventure. So I'll get the lid off it. There we go. You can taste the vanilla in that. Caffeine free with sodium. And 290 calories. I'll have to burn those off tomorrow. Cheers, Phil. Well, nice and dark outside now. It's just a little bit before midnight. Stream's babbling away there. I'm not sure if the audio can pick it up. A good session up to now. Quite pleased with my little one night expedition so far. It's the 21st of June today. few minutes perhaps, become the 22nd. I would have liked to have come camping on the 20th, so that I could have had the first dawn on the 21st, the summer solstice, but it wasn't to be. But there'll be about a 2-minute time difference on yesterday. It starts going darker a little bit more each night now. It'll start going light about 4 o'clock. So I was hoping I'll be awake at that time. I'll go for a little walk, I think. First light. It's the best time of the day to see all sorts of wildlife and bits and pieces. I hope I can track a red grouse down. Try and get the audio of its call. Although there's not many left now, as I say, since this place got turned into a country park, all the wildlife value is being wrecked, and it's nowhere near wildlife rich as it was sort of 35 years ago. So I shall turn in now and see what the morning brings. It's 4:30 in the morning. Went light obviously very early today, and so I'll just go for a little wander round. Not heard any red grouse yet, which doesn't really surprise me. Disappointed about that, but still time yet. I'll just pan round. It's a bit cloudy this morning, but that'll soon dissipate as it gets warmer. Bit of mist on the top there. I'll head that way, but I'll just go quiet for a minute, see if I can pick up this bit of a dawn chorus. Lots of little songbirds. Yep, magical time of the day. Just trying to pick up the audio of a little bird called a stone chat. I'm sure that it'll pick up on this, but it gets its name because its call sounds like two stones getting knocked together. This is headwater of the stream lower down. I've been getting drinking water. It's formed up here from runoff off the land, but also springs that bubble up off the ground. That one goes up there that way, and there is another. There's a scree slope in that gully up there. It bubbles onto the ground there, runs under this stone, and there's another small one bubbling out over there. So very pure water. This stream has actually got a name. It's called Nantanay, which is Welsh, of course, which translates into English as the stream of heaven, or heaven's stream, referring, I suppose, historically to its climb up to source on Moel Famau, which is the highest peak in the Clwydian range. Plenty of mist up there now. I've just walked about half a mile from the campsite. Can't quite see it out of view around there where that gorse is on the hillside, and below that a few hundred yards. When I was strolling up this path just before, there's a little wet patch there, and I made a bit of noise trying to get round it, and right where I'm stood now there was a badger. The camera was rolling, but I only managed to catch a split second of it. So I'll run that split second for a few seconds, try and build up a composite. But I was quite surprised the badger just disappeared into this bracken, an old burnt gorse scrub. It didn't make a lot of noise. Normally when they panic they make lots of noise in their efforts to escape. It just seems to disappear, and I've seen no traces of badger. So I'm just wondering if he's actually an old one. I used to know a fox earth high up on a hill in the Sliam Peninsula, and it was notorious for holding lone old badgers far away from the nearest set. It's almost like they go up in these places to die. The one I saw looked quite clean and healthy, so who knows. He seems to disappear there, so somewhere in that scrub is a hole, and allow them to escape. Right, I'm gonna do a quick light of a fire with this lint I got from laundrette. Also one of their dryers. I'll just try and get it going. Need a little bit of encouragement there, but you can see it's burning away. Eggs on the go. Just finishing off on breakfast before I head off back home. Well, the morning after the night before. The clouds cleared now, the mist is gone, sun's out. It's not even 9 o'clock and it's really hot now. It's just a quick pan round the site. All nice and tidy. I'm going to come back to this site for a winter camp, I think. I left a few sticks there, which I gathered. Rucksack ready to go. And I'll be on my way.